Hello Igraspers, welcome to your favorite weekly news capsule. We will conserve only what we love, and we love only what we know. We know only what we are taught. So step up and get ready to learn and be aware of everything around us. The highlights of this week's news capsule are: Russia's Sputnik-V cleared for emergency use, becomes India's third COVID vaccine. Prince Philip's funeral service held with limited guests. The United Arab Emirates announces its first ever female astronaut. Nepal's rhino population up by 16.5% in last 5 years. Starbucks to end disposable cups in South Korea by 2025. Third of Antarctic ice shelf area at collapse risk due to global warming. Hideki Matsuyama wins the 2021 Masters, becoming first Japanese man to win golf major. And last but not the least, our riveting F2 segment. It is now time to begin with the national news segment.
At a time when the country is witnessing a second wave of coronavirus cases across states, the Central Board of Secondary Education (CBSE) has cancelled the Class 10 examinations and postponed Class 12 examinations in the wake of a massive spike in COVID cases. The decision to cancel the CBSE examinations was taken at a high-level meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi last Wednesday. The CISCE Grade 10 and 12 examinations have also been cancelled.
The Drug Controller General of India last week approved Sputnik-V vaccine for emergency use, making it the third COVID-19 vaccine to be registered in India. Sputnik-V is now the third vaccine to get an emergency authorization in India after Serum Institute of India's Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. Let's hope the approval of Sputnik-V will help efforts to scale up vaccinations and contain this unprecedented record surge in cases.
On the 9th of April, Britain's longest-serving royal consort, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, died at the age of 99. The prince's funeral was held at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle on April 17, with only 30 people in attendance following social distancing norms. With his demise on April 9th, the country had entered a phase of national mourning that ended with the prince's funeral on Saturday. In memory of the Duke, who had served as a naval officer during World War II, gun salutes were given across the United Kingdom in Gibraltar and on Royal Navy ships at sea on the day of his death. The funeral service was televised so the public could pay their respects from home instead of gathering in large crowds during the pandemic.
The United Arab Emirates named the next two astronauts in its space program last week, including the country's first female astronaut, Noura Al-Matroushi. The two had been selected among more than 4,000 applicants in the UAE and will shortly undergo training at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. The announcement was made by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, through a Twitter post. Heartiest congratulations, Noura.
In heartening news from the world of fauna, Nepal is reporting a 16.5% increase in the population of one-horned rhinoceroses in the last 5 years, defying the increasing cases of natural death and poaching. The animal, listed as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature list, saw a 107 increase in its numbers. Also known as the Indian rhinoceros, the rhino species can be found in various protected regions of Nepal, including in the famous Chitwan National Park.
In a move to reduce their carbon footprint by 30%, Starbucks has announced that they will end the use of single-use disposable cups in South Korea by 2025. This circular cup program will be launched at a few cafes in Jeju, in which customers will be encouraged to pay small deposit fees for getting reusable cups. The amount will be refunded when the users return their cups at contactless kiosks provided for the purpose. The program will gradually be rolled out to the entire country. This plan, which is already aligned with South Korea's new environmental policies, will also allow Starbucks to reduce their landfill waste by half by 2030. What are you doing to reduce your landfill waste, Igraaspers? Share pictures and stories on igraasp.com/iClub.
Global warming is a very real and a rapidly increasing problem, and a recent study adds to this worrying fact. Recent research found that over a third of the area of all Antarctic ice shelves is at risk of destabilization if temperatures continue to rise, even at a minor rate. Around 500,000 square kilometers of ice shelves is endangered, and this has far-reaching implications for the world. Reversing climate change is the only option for a sustainable future. As we approach Earth Day, Igraaspers, think about how you can be a champion in the world of environmentalism in your communities.
While the COVID pandemic is continuing around the world, it is of great hope that scientists around the world are working tirelessly to keep us safe and sound. A woman in Kyoto, Japan, faced some lung issues due to coronavirus. Since waiting lists for organ donors are very long, the woman's son and husband decided to donate part of their lungs to her. Thus, she became the first COVID patient in the world to receive a living donor lung transplant. Our heartfelt gratitude to the doctors and nurses who are risking their lives every day for our well-being.
On 12th April, NASA released images of electric blue dunes on Mars to observe the 20th anniversary of the Odyssey orbiter. Planted in 2001, the Mars Odyssey orbiter is the longest-serving Martian spacecraft. It took the now-released pictures between December 2002 and November 2004 using Thermal Imaging Emission Systems device. NASA used false color pictures to showcase the warmer and cooler temperature zones on Mars. The blue color represents cooler temperatures, and the yellows and oranges depict warmer temperatures.
Where have most of you been for your summer holidays, friends? The cool hills or the fun beaches? Well, hold your breath, because soon you may be able to take a trip literally out of this world. Yes, hundreds of people have already booked their tickets and begun training for a flight into space. Virgin Galactic, owned by British billionaire entrepreneur Richard Branson, is collaborating with Blue Origin, owned by Amazon's Jeff Bezos, to build spacecrafts that are capable of sending private clients on suborbital flights to the edge of space, lasting several minutes. As many as 400 people are training for a space flight. What an amazing innovation, right?
Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters at Augusta National Golf Club, Georgia last Sunday to become the first player from Japan to claim a men's major championship. He is the second golfer from an Asian country to clinch a men's major, following South Korean Ye Yang's PGA Championship win in 2009 over Tiger Woods. Looking ahead, Matsuyama wants to win a gold medal for Japan on home soil this summer at the Tokyo Olympics.
Last week, the 74th anniversary of the British Academy of Films and Television Arts Award ceremony, also known as BAFTA, was held in London. During a significant segment known as In Memoriam, tributes were paid to two deceased Indian actors, Irfan Khan and Rishi Kapoor. These highly regarded Indian artists had passed on last year, and honoring them along with Hollywood actors such as Sean Connery, Kirk Douglas and Chadwick Boseman created emotional moments for the fans of our Indian actors.
The Indian Army's Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Pannu recently received 2 Guinness World Record certificates for his fastest solo cycling. The first record was created when Lieutenant Colonel Pannu cycled from Leh to Manali in just 35 hours and 25 minutes. The second record was created when Lieutenant Colonel Pannu cycled the 5,942 km long Golden Quadrilateral route, which connects Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata in just 14 days, 23 hours and 52 minutes. Way to go, Lieutenant!
Daisy Taylor, a 17-year-old second-year student at Iowa City West High School, invented color-changing stitches. She wanted a career in medicine, hence took up the opportunity to conduct research for science fairs. It is through her research that she finds she can make better sutures. Taylor made sutures from beetroot juice concentrated that changed from bright red hue to purple color when pH level indicates an infection. Interesting, isn't it, Igraasp?
The issue of Action Comics 1, which sold for 10 cents when it was released in 1938, is the world's most valuable comic today. Yes, you heard it right. A rare edition of a comic in which Superman made his first ever appearance sold for a whopping $3.25 million. This comic is considered to be the start of the superhero genre. This particular copy was found buried in a stack of old 1930s movie magazines. Do you have such rare editions in your book collection, Igraasp?
Can you guess who? This professional American wrestler, musician and actor has won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship 13 times. He has lent his voice in Hollywood films such as Ferdinand and Doolittle. At the Make-A-Wish Foundation, 400 terminally ill kids wanted to meet him. He granted their wish and met them. Did you get it? It is John Felix Anthony Cena, lovingly known as John Cena.
This brings us to the end of our news wrap. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. Until we meet again, adopt the pace of nature, slow down and walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. See you next week.